Peter Thomas, the ex-husband of Cynthia Bailey, is about to face prison, but that is not stopping him from getting involved in the same business he always does. He is once again stepping into matters that involve women. Peter has always been known for his bold moves and complicated relationships, and even with serious legal troubles, he does not seem worried at all. Instead of focusing on his problems, he is putting his energy into what he knows best. But moments like this make people wonder, where is Nene Leakes when you need her? She always spoke her mind when it came to Peter, even giving him the nickname Patricia, because he loved getting involved in women's issues. It would be very interesting to hear what she has to say about this latest situation. Even after his recent conviction, Peter has found himself in another controversy. This time, he supported an artificial intelligence video that made fun of Porsha Williams and her divorce. Most people in his position would stay quiet and focus on their own problems, but he is doing the opposite. Instead of handling his legal and money troubles, he is speaking about the life of a Real Housewives of Atlanta star. This is the same man who owes hundreds of thousands in rent and lost a $2.5 million tax fraud case. But instead of fixing his own situation, he is giving advice to Porsha about her public image. The irony is very clear. At this point, if Peter ever decided to run for office, he would not only win, but he would probably win by a very big margin. If there was a prize for getting involved in matters that have nothing to do with him, Peter Thomas would win without any doubt. He could even be the mayor of a city where the only rule is to stir drama. No matter how serious his own troubles are, he always finds a way to focus on other people's business. Porsha Williams recently appeared on The View to promote the new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. She spoke openly about the emotional struggles of divorce. She shared how hard it is to rebuild life after marriage and how important it is for women to choose their own happiness, even when it feels like the hardest choice. It is very hard to pick yourself when you have become one with somebody, and then suddenly, you have to choose only you, she said. Many people who have faced similar situations could relate to her words, but the internet had other plans. A popular social media page known for being shady took the clip and made it messy. They added an artificial intelligence video that made it look like a guest was blaming Porsha for her own failed marriages. The message was very clear. It suggested that her way of thinking about self-prioritization was the reason her relationships did not work out. This started heated debates online, and just when it looked like the situation could not get any more dramatic, Peter Thomas stepped in. Even with all his legal and money problems, the former Real Housewives husband could not stop himself from joining the discussion. Because if there is one thing about Peter, it is that he will always have something to say, especially when it is not about him. Peter Thomas never stays away from women's matters, and this time is no different. Whether he was agreeing with the artificial intelligence video or just making the situation worse, his involvement only made the drama bigger. This is why people have always called him the unofficial king of unnecessary opinions. As soon as the artificial intelligence video started spreading online, Peter jumped into the conversation. He could not stop himself from sharing his thoughts, acting like he was truly worried about Porsha Williams and her public image, or at least that is how he made it seem. Yo, when does it get better for Miss Porsha W? She cannot catch a break. She needs a better public relations person. Getting attacked on a national platform like this is not good, he wrote, making himself part of another Real Housewives controversy. The irony of his words was very clear. Fans quickly pointed out that Peter has serious legal and money troubles, yet he still finds time to talk about someone else's public image. With reports of him owing hundreds of thousands in rent and losing a $2.5 million tax fraud case, most people would think he has bigger problems to focus on. But if there is one thing about Peter, it is that he will always make sure people notice him, especially when there is drama. His comment only made things worse, leading to debates about whether he really cared about Porsha or was just trying to keep himself in the spotlight. No matter what the truth is, one thing is sure: Peter always finds a way to stay in the middle of the action. Peter Thomas once again showed that he simply cannot stop himself from getting involved in Real Housewives drama, even when it has nothing to do with him. His decision to jump into the situation only made his reputation stronger as someone who always finds a way to be part of the conversation. But this time, Porsha Williams was ready for him. As soon as the video spread online and social media started reacting, Porsha did not waste any time responding. Instead of replying directly to Peter's unwanted advice about her public image, she chose a smart and subtle way to clap back. She posted a short but very clear clink clink message that left fans shocked. But this was not just any simple response. In true Porsha style, she turned the situation around and exposed something unexpected. Peter had apparently been sending her private messages in the past, possibly trying to start something more than just a friendly conversation. This changed everything. The idea that Peter's so-called concern about her public image might not have been so innocent after all made social media explode. Fans quickly filled the comments with laughing emojis, pointing out how funny it was that one moment he was criticizing Porsha, and the next he was being accused of secretly trying to get close to her. The boldness of it all. As expected, Peter's name started trending again. People began asking if his original comment was really about Porsha's public image, or if he was just upset about being ignored. But no matter what his real reason was, Porsha's response was the perfect way to shut it all down. Once again, she proved that when it comes to dealing with messy men in online drama, she always has the perfect response and the proof to back it up. After spending a whole year dealing with social media drama with her ex, Simon Guobadia, Porsha Williams has become a pro at shutting down shady comments. The Real Housewives of Atlanta star has been getting better at handling all the mess. So, when Peter Thomas decided to throw shade her way, she was ready to clap back. Instead of letting his comments slide, Porsha quickly set him straight. She reminded Peter that while her messy divorce might be making the news, it is nothing compared to his problems, especially since he is facing an 18-month sentence for tax fraud. The internet went wild as her response spread fast. Fans jumped in to point out that Peter has no business talking about anyone's public image when he is about to wear an orange jumpsuit. Social media was filled with jokes, memes, and funny. Videos roasting Peter for trying to criticize Porsha when his own life was in such a mess. If he thought she would ignore him, he clearly underestimated Porsha's ability to flip the script. She might be in the middle of a difficult divorce, but at least she is not facing jail time. Once again, Porsha proved that when it comes to online drama, she is always ready with the perfect response. No matter who tries to come for her, she always has the final word. Porsha Williams quickly hit back at Peter Thomas with a sharp and clever response, reminding him that he had much bigger problems than her Real Housewives of Atlanta press tour. On social media, she posted a short but powerful message. "You have more to worry about than my national press tour," and added a police car emoji to make her point clear. The message was simple. While Peter was busy talking about her public relations, he should be focusing on his own serious legal issues, like the 18-month prison sentence he is facing for tax fraud. But Porsha did not stop there. She turned things up a notch by showing that Peter had not kept the same energy in private that he showed publicly. Instead of ignoring his criticism, she decided to expose him. She shared screenshots of past messages from Peter, where he had been complimenting her, telling her she was absolutely beautiful, and encouraging her to live her best life. It was clear that in private, Peter had a completely different attitude. To make sure everyone got the message, Porsha ended her response with a mic drop moment using the hashtag #WeirdosLeftOnRead. The internet went wild as fans laughed and dragged Peter for getting exposed. Once again, Porsha proved that she knows how to handle drama and is not afraid to stand up for herself. Even though she has her own challenges, she always knows how to win the online battles and come out on top. In the middle of her messy divorce, Porsha Williams still had the time, cleverness, and proof to shut down anyone who tried to come for her, especially when it came to Peter Thomas, a man with many secrets of his own. Porsha was not going to let Peter get away with his shady behavior without letting everyone see how fake he really was. After she shared screenshots of his private messages, where he was full of compliments and encouragement, she ended her response with a sharp message. She pointed out how Peter always reached out to her privately, but would talk badly about her publicly. She used the hashtag #WeirdosLeftOnRead to show everyone how done she was with his two-faced ways. Porsha made it clear that while Peter had been sending her sweet messages in private, he had also been dragging her in public. She also threw in a reminder about Peter's tax issues, saying that it was not her but him who had legal troubles and was facing an 18-month prison sentence. Fans quickly jumped in to support Porsha as she shut Peter down. But instead of backing off, Peter decided to keep the drama going. He seemed unbothered by being exposed and chose to make more comments, bringing up Porsha's divorce again. Even though he had his own big problems to deal with, Peter chose to stir up more tension, showing that he cared more about causing drama than taking responsibility for his own actions. Even though Peter Thomas is dealing with serious financial problems, legal battles, and the possibility of going to prison, he still found time to throw more shade. Whether he was trying to shift attention away from his own issues or just acting like he always does, one thing was clear. He was not about to let this feud die quietly. But if he thought he could win a battle of words with Porsha Williams, he was in for a big surprise. After Porsha hit him back with a response that left him speechless, Peter realized he was losing the online fight. Instead of doubling down on his messy behavior, he decided to make a video to clear things up. But, as usual, Peter only made the situation more ridiculous. In his video, Peter admitted that he had only just learned about AI that week, which had everyone shaking their heads. "When I saw the clip on The View with the guy in it, I thought that was an actual guest on the show," he said. "I am not as up on social media as you all think I am." Fans were quick to call him out, especially since this is the same man who always gets involved in everyone else's business, yet suddenly claimed to not understand how the internet works. Peter also claimed that he hardly posts online and that there were many fake accounts pretending to be him, making it hard to know what is real. But let's be honest, Peter never misses a chance to throw shade, so his sudden confusion was not convincing anyone. Then came the real surprise. Peter Thomas, after admitting that he commented on the AI-generated clip, tried to explain that his problem with Porsha Williams was not personal. Instead, he claimed his words were about standing up for family values. Yes, you heard that right. The same Peter Thomas who had been accused of living off Cynthia Bailey's modeling money and cheating during their marriage, now suddenly talking about loyalty, vows, and respect. The irony was so strong, you could almost feel it. "I did make a comment with the AI. Now I know it is AI," he started, then added, "but I am about those family values." Now, Peter, who was known for being a huge red flag during his time on RHOA, was acting like a relationship expert. Fans quickly reminded him that maybe Cynthia could have used that family values advice before she married him. But Peter did not stop there. He kept going, offering advice on how people should take marriage more seriously and really think before getting married. "I do not believe people should get married and 2 years later get a divorce," he said. "You need to do your research on who you are going to marry. When you say, 'I do,' you make a promise not just to the person, but to God. You need to keep that promise. You cannot change your mind after 18 months. If you do, that means you were never serious about it." The internet went crazy. If there is anyone who will understand what regret after 18 months feels like, it is Peter Thomas. But not because of a marriage, it is because he is facing an 18-month prison sentence. Maybe Peter should listen to Porsha's advice and focus on more important things, like finding a good lawyer and preparing for his time in prison. If he thought Porsha's response was tough, he is in for a big shock when reality hits.